What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba. It is Thursday, the 28th of March, and it's pretty quiet out there. We have a holiday tomorrow, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday. Most people aren't even participating in the market, but you are seeing a little bit of action. But the markets are virtually, other than the Russell, churning both sides of unchanged. Right now, there's really no trades for us to look at. Crude could become a potential right here with this straight parabolic up move. We'll be looking at that, but again, it's really, really pretty quiet. Not a lot to look at the moment. But let's just run through what we're usually watching. I'm going to say something that most wouldn't, but today is probably a better day not to get too involved. The volume is going to shrivel up as the day goes on. As the people, a lot of people aren't even there. All right, this is a spring break weekend. But Good Friday tomorrow, so a lot of traders, a lot of the professionals will be gone if they're not already gone. And of course, the other problem you have is there is some data coming out tomorrow, which makes no sense at all. At the end of the day, you can't account for it and you can't participate in it. So do you really want to get yourself in a position that some early leakage of some potential news or whatever can put you in that position? So in the meantime, Apple, certainly if I were going to do anything in Apple, it would be to sell put spreads, and I would sell them for today. But I am not again, I'm not making any official recommendations today, because to me, I'm getting out of here as soon as I'm done here. Number one. Number two, I just don't think there's much to do. I think you're putting yourself in jeopardy for no reason. Let's just take a look back here and see if there's anything that's coming up. Crude's probably going to come up, so we'll get back to that when it comes up. We've been very successful with our trade, so that's a good thing. But so Apple, I would be a put spread seller if I were going to trade it, and I'm telling you now, I am not trading it myself. Okay, so I will always give you full disclosure. Amazon, I'd be a call spread seller. Okay, Coin, I'd be nothing. Coin's in the middle of nowhere. If you remember on Tuesday, which is here, I told you sell call spreads. Okay, Meta. I'd be looking to probably sell put spreads now. It came up, and again, I go back to Tuesday. We were pretty much right on. And again, remember, when you're trading only for a number of hours, we're not making macro predictions for 6 months from now. We're talking about the next day or 6 hours, 5 hours. I mean, from right now, the market's closed. It was at 11 o'clock, so they close in 5 hours. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So we're not, we're not taking massive positions and trying to make big macro calls. Okay. Google, really nothing. Okay. It's kind of sideways, not much to do. IWM, certainly I would be a call spread seller here. I think that's the right play. If you're going to do it again, and I remind you one more time, don't be annoyed, but I'm not making any trades today. I'm already done for what I'm going to do, other than if we get a day trade here, which certainly in crude, we have something to look at here. Okay. And we will look at it. It's very close. I will say this, that if you're not an experienced trader and you're with me for the beginning here, I would probably not take this trade. I'm going to take it because I'm here and I'm with you. Okay. But it is not, I'd like to see the volume higher than it is here, but I'm willing to take a shot. But if you're not an experienced trader or don't feel good about if it's a losing trade, I certainly would not make this trade. But again, I will make it. My stop will be, as it sits right now, 83.35 will be my stop if and when I get in, but I cannot get in until I see a red bar come in on the 1 minute cycle. So that's what we're waiting for, is a red bar to show up here, and it's going higher. So right now there's nothing really to do anyways, but that is again the story of what we're watching and what we're looking for. Okay. You have to be consistent at what you're trying to do. Okay, that is one of the most important things, and you cannot make exceptions, and especially into a market that is a little bit slower than any time else. You have to be very careful. Again, the busier and more active markets are, the more we're willing to take a little bit of a gamble type of trade. But the slower they get, the slower you got to be. It doesn't make sense to try to get overly involved in these markets when they're trading like this, because they're trading in a very slow pace. And what happens is you can get trapped and get banged out right away without much action. And the real problem is not the one trade that you might lose on, but you don't have a lot of opportunities to come back in and trade again. Remember, we're working on the law of large numbers as well. Okay. And the law of large numbers, if we don't have enough trades to make, do you want to risk your day on one particular trade? And again, that's where you have to watch your overall personal opinion, because again, it's easy to see the mirage of making the trade because you have an opinion. But I think it's much easier for you if you just say, you know what, I'm better off. All right, so we're going to get a trade here. Hold on. Let me get ready here and make my trade. Okay, so I'm going to sell them here. All right, so I sold crude. All right, so I sold crude at 67. I'm going to work to buy. I sold 4 micros. I'm going to work to buy one at 57 and one at 47. And I got to put my stop in at 83.79. 83.79 is that right? Hold on. My apologies. My stop is going to be at 83.39. 83.39 is my stop. Okay. Okay, so we've got our trade in. It's slightly profitable. Again, we're not taking it off, so we have not realized any profits, but it is a little bit in the green at the moment. Okay, and again, we're working one. I'm trading 4, so I'm working to buy one back at 10, one back at 20, which would lock me on 30 ticks. And if I get the 2 off, then I take the stop and put it right to break even. Take all the risk out of the trade. Okay, that's what I'm looking for when I look here. Now, again, we're watching, and again, you can see it's coming down. It should probably pause if it's going to right about here, right where it's at right now. But again, that's right in our neighborhood. We're going to click us and fill us as well. Okay, because that should be right around 57 is where we should get filled if we get down there. Now, again, I would, it's close. I can't tell you if it will or not. But you do have a profit, and you're up depending on what size you're trading, anywhere between $500 and $500, $500 to $500, depending on the size of contract you're trading. Okay, but again, this is what we're watching. All right, and we're waiting now. Again, we'd love to get part of it off. Okay, and if we can get part of it off, that assures us to make money. Now, again, I'm sitting here watching, and if it doesn't start to move pretty soon, I've got my finger ready to go ahead and put a stop on at break even, because I don't want to sit here, and this is my concern of the day's trading. Okay, so I am going to now put my stop in at break even. So I'm putting my stop in at 65. Okay, I'm still working my orders below, but now I've taken all the risk out of the trade right now. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. Again, we're risk managers, and we want to make sure we take the risk out. And we got a nice start to a move down, but it stopped, and it stopped right where I showed you. It should stop. Okay. So now, so let me go back, and we'll go back and look at some charts. I know I got a break even stop. So when I hear a bell, I'll know what to do. I'll look up and see what had happened. Other than that, I really don't care. Okay. Microsoft isn't right at the mean. There's nothing to do either way. NVIDIA, there's nothing to do either way, right at the mean. The Qs, again, not much to do either way. Square, towards, I'd be leaning towards selling call spreads, but again, I'm not looking to make trades. SPY would definitely be a potential call spread sale. Tesla, nothing. Win, maybe call spreads. Again, the markets are tenuous at best right now. So we're not in a hurry to jump in and do anything here. There's no reason to be overlaying. So I did get out of one of my crude at 10 plus 10 ticks. So I just reduced my stop by 1. Okay. I'm still working it, but now I did get out of 1. Okay. So I have now guaranteed myself about a 16 tick profit on a big contract. That's $160. On one micro contract, that's $16. Okay. Anywhere in between. And now we're getting close to get the second one off, which would let us move to break even. So now you can sit here, you can play this game from here. Once you get the second one off, you can play however you want. Just, you can't take a loss to the trade. You got to lock in the ticks that you made, the 30, which is what we know we made. The rest, you can, if it continues to go in our favor, we can play however we want. Okay. We can get wider as it gives us, if it breaks harder, and really go for a big home run. Okay. we can get narrower and take the money. That is really a trader's choice. Typically, I get the 30 ticks locked up. I'm going for a home run unless something changes in the market. Like if I get a blow off to the downside, which is very close, right? We could have certainly justified, because we justified the buy, I could justify the sell, okay? Or the new buy. I justified the sell, I could justify the buy, but I didn't. So again, I don't go back and say should have or would have or could have, which is the name of my company. But in the meantime, here we are. We're sitting here watching. It is coming down, and certainly its next resting area, if it's going to continue, should stop somewhere around here, which happens to be right at our next target. Okay. Now again, it may go up and stop us out, but we've already got some money for sure. Okay. And we'll see. Again, this is what we're trying to worry about is the money management. So, but if it does break and does go down, then I will watch it. And if I get it like here, we're not going to get one here, but if I get another blow off, then I might switch over to a trailing stop and let it trail it down and let it take me out, because I don't want to enter another trade now. Okay. Like I said, I think it's going to get slower and slower during the day. So for my money, I'd rather be out playing poker. I'd rather be doing something else than sitting here staring at a machine where I have a higher probability of making a bad trade because I'm staring at it. So I'm going to find something to trade that I really shouldn't be trying. Okay. And this is the disciplines that you have to learn. You know, you're not going to miss anything. What's the big deal? Okay. If you missed a potential trade, maybe you wouldn't have made the trade anyways. Maybe you would have made the wrong side. You can't worry about, everybody worries about, this is going to happen. You know what? The breaks are going to come 50-50. In fact, this morning we were 6-0 on our day trading that I do with my members. Okay. And I made a big mistake, but I caught it right away. I took care of it. Okay. I put on 10 of the wrong contracts, the big size instead of the little size. So again, but I caught it and I moved. But again, there's no reason for you to put yourself in jeopardy when the markets are acting like they are. Okay. Now we're headed south again a little bit. So now, does that mean that we're going lower now? I don't know. Again, I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much to really look at here, which is again more of my concern of the lack of activity. And hopefully, you're recognizing it and understanding that there's not. You don't always have to be in. Okay, the key is to capitalize when you are in and when you are trading. And if you're trading around potentially high probability times, okay, like the last 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday, we were 12-0 in our trades in the morning. Okay. But those are higher probability times, but they weren't great either. And today 6-0 was meager. It wasn't a huge profit 6-0. It was 6 wins, 6 trades, 6 wins. Yesterday was much better. But again, we're specifically trading at a time we know that there should be more business, which is right around the opening. Okay. But again, you can see that crude has just totally stopped. Okay. Going down. Now it's not going up, but I'm not taking the profit here. Okay. Now you certainly, okay, any of you out there, if you say, you know what, I want out, I want to take the profit now, there's no shame in taking the profit here. I'm willing to let it run. I'm willing to take my chances here because I know that I can't lose. And I know that I'm going to make something no matter what. Okay. So there, I don't have to be concerned. But if you want to take the money now and say, hey, I want the money now. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Remember, there's never shame in taking profit. Okay. That's the thing you always have to remember. There is never a shame in taking your money off the table as long as when you start to take short profits, you also make sure that you take short losses when you're wrong. Okay. Again, this is the whole world of trading. And of course, our trade is still going in our favor. Okay. We're still in good shape. And again, we know we're going to make money and we're not seeing any other potential trades right now. So if you're looking at 8 markets and you're looking at 8 of the busiest markets in the world, why would you want to get involved? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Okay. We're watching the 4 major indices, which are busy or can be: crude oil, euro currency, notes, and gold. And you're getting zero action in all 8 markets right now. Okay. We were fortunate enough to get in one, and it's a winning trade. But other than that, it's really a brutal setup right now with very light activity and not much to do. So, you have to remember to ask yourself, is it worth my time and my risk and my money to trade in a market that, in this environment, that is really not offering enough opportunities for me to be able to get out on? If I get a bad trade, will I have an opportunity to make another good trade, or will I get myself in a bad way and make a series of bad trades because of the one bad trade? Okay. Again, there's a lot of little quirks that go on in the world of trading. Okay. And this is something that you have to recognize, and you have to recognize it within yourself, because your worst enemy in the world of trading is yourself. Okay. Now, certainly you had the S&P, which was, if I was really busy, I'd look at it, but I'm not really busy. So again, I go back to the same question. Do I want to waste my time? No, I don't. I have no interest. Okay. I do think it'll break down. I do think that for the next hour or so, it'll probably trade in this range here, 9 to 14 or so. What do I want to get involved? I don't want to I want nothing to do with it. That's my point. Okay. So we'll see what it looks like. Again, as I've said to you repeatedly today, and I hope you're getting the message, very much to do. And there's really no reason, because you want to be fresh and ready when the time is right, and not get yourself, because we all know that when you sit back and things get draggy, you get draggy. Okay. You lose focus, you lose concentration. You lose that, you're losing your edge, and it takes away just about everything you're trying to do. Okay. So, I just think that, the lack of activity here, the volume, I mean, if you notice normally these are trading somewhere around, let's say 3,000 to 5,000, you're getting 900 contracts, 3,000 to 5,000 to 900. Doesn't sound very exciting to me. Okay. And our crude, of course, is still hanging out, and the S&P is trying to fail from 14. We'll see. But again, I'm not making a trade there. I have no trade there to think about. I just pointing it out so that you can recognize and see what you could expect. Okay. And certainly you can see that the Russell found a support area. And of course, if you look back, the probability is that it would go higher from there, which it is. Okay. And again, we're just giving you some examples. These were not, that was an actual trade, but the one actual trade, we're getting real close now to getting off our second one. Okay. Which would then really put us in the driver's seat. But the overall true lack of activity here is, again, problematic. Okay. And that's always the issue and the problem that we deal with as traders is, if markets are not giving us enough activity, then we have to also be very careful on our own to stay away when we're not getting the best opportunity. And that would be something that I'd be concerned about. Okay. And that's something that I watch and worry about, because again, it's easy to click buttons, but clicking buttons don't make you money. Okay. What makes you money is being patient enough to wait for the best opportunities to show up. Okay. And that's, again, what we're doing. And again, if I look at if I'm looking at the NASDAQ, for example, this should stop here probably. Okay. It is making some sort of an ascending pattern, but right now you would suspect that we're stuck between 18,490 and 18,510, about a 20-tick range, which is ridiculous in the NASDAQ. Okay. So at the end of the day, we've got an open trade. We've got a profit. If you did take the trade with me, make sure that you've got your stop working, and however you want to manage it from here, you're going to make a little bit of money or you're going to make a lot of money. That I can't say. I don't know how we're going to finish from here. Personally, I am doing nothing with it right now. I am sitting with where I'm at. I've got my one working at 47. Okay. I've got my stop working with 2 ticks profit, which is what I consider to be break even. So at worst, I'm going to make 16 ticks on this trade. At best, I have no idea. In the meantime, to all of you, a blessed Good Friday, happy Easter, and a happy Passover. And I'll see you all back here on Tuesday with more Trading Live with Bubba.
All opinions expressed by Tradier Hub contributors are solely the contributors' opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Hub contributors as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or to follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of their opinion. The contributors' opinions are based on their own personal research, but neither Tradier nor its affiliates and/or subsidiaries warrants its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. Any trades or positions discussed or referred to by contributors may or may not be actual live trades or positions. Such information is not intended to be financial or investment advice. Tradier Inc. is the parent company of Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. and Tradier Inc. are separate entities with their own products and services. Securities products and services are offered through Tradier Brokerage Inc. Tradier Brokerage Inc. is an independent subsidiary of Tradier Inc. All rights reserved. Member FINRA SIPC.